Good evening and welcome to the Quarry Valley Unified Union School District Board meeting. Today is May 11th. If you would please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first order of business is the approval of the agenda. A motion would be in order. Motion by Mike. Additions, deletions, changes. I'd like to add an executive session right below this for personnel contracts. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. A motion would be in order at 6:06 to move into executive session for personnel.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mike. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We're out of executive session at 6:18 by consensus. We'll move into general public comment. If you wanted to speak, you needed to sign up to speak in the chat. Anyone who wants to speak will have 3 minutes to speak. All statements and comments should be directed to the chair. Do not direct any of your statements or comments to individual board members. Thank you.
Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Hi. I just have something I would like to read. So if it looks like I'm reading, I am. I'm hopeful that this letter will clear up all questions as to how great of an educator Eric Maxim will be. In the last 10 weeks, I've been able to speak to many people who've been a part of his college career, witnessing growth as an excelling educator, and I've also been able to see it firsthand for the 8 weeks I worked with him. I've been lucky enough to mentor 5 amazing student teachers since my time at Proctor, and from day one, it was obvious that he was a standout due to having a presence that promotes mutual respect and leadership, which can typically be a struggle with many young professionals. This is an innate trait that is difficult to teach. Eric was 3 years older than some of his students, but he always maintained a very clear professional line while allowing students to relate to him. I was impressed with his ability to create lessons that kept our students challenged enough to be engaged and still find success. When Eric started solo teaching, I was astounded at the high-quality scaffolded help lessons he produced. He created informational slideshows, games, and authentic assignments for learning. I watched as he carefully built trust within all of our students and held them to a high standard, which translated into students working harder for him. His organizational skills and communication skills were extraordinary, and I'm grateful I got the opportunity to be a part of it. My colleagues saw this also and would often tell me how impressed they were with his natural ability to teach our kids. I know I wasn't the only one that felt this way. I have a quote from a Castleton professor. He said, "He is the highest recommendation of our faculty, was a Vermont Outstanding Future Professional. He won the Department Award for Academic Achievement, which is voted on by professors within the department, and will provide needed high-quality health education, PE, and coaching." Another professor said that Eric is an exceptional teacher. He's known him since his freshman year and immediately recognized that he was going to be a phenomenal teacher. He's been one of the strongest candidates since his time at Castleton. He excelled at West Rutland and was named valedictorian. He continued his academic success at Castleton, earning a presidential scholarship. He'll be graduating from Castleton with a 4.0. He served as the president of the Health and PE Club and was the recipient of Excellence Awards chosen by staff. Eric is someone who takes action and serves as a leader to his peers and will continue with this role as an educator, coach, and community leader. He is child-centered and has a sense of responsibility with and toward young people, and because of this tremendous personal drive, I see nothing but success in his future. One senior at my school that I teach at had Mr. Max. He says, "I was one of Mr. Max's students when he was teaching at Proctor. During this time, he had a positive influence and created an accepting and open class environment. In the beginning of the semester, I wasn't very excited about my class. Mr. Max brought the whole group together. I became friends with people I never would have tried to talk to before that class, And that's because of his influence was so open and positive and accepting. He was obviously taking pride in his work as an educator. You can really tell he cares about his students. I think he will make a huge impact on whatever school he works with, especially since he had such an impact on our school in such a short time. So as you can see, many educators and professionals think very highly about this young man and wish him nothing but success. And my hope is that we can get educators like this in our district, because it could be the difference maker for our kids.
Thank you. Anyone else on there? All right, thank you very much. Moving on to old business. Is there any old business to come before the board?
I have two small things that I just wanted to see if we have an update on about. So the bleachers, did we go out to bid for the bleachers was one question, if we have an update on that, or we could do it during
So
finance.
tonight, Joe and Louis aren't here, so we'll put that on for
Okay.
next agenda.
And then the other thing was like the commingling of the ballot.
Right,
issue.
and we took that off because we're waiting for a
Still waiting.
response, so that's still on the plate. We'll have that when we hear back from our attorney.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else from anyone? All right, moving on to new business. Proficiency-based grading. So we discussed proficiency-based grading a few months ago when Lisa Matson was here and talked about changing. We talked about the inflated grades. What we didn't do at the time was take a vote. So we need to do that. Do we need a recap or can we just vote?
So the discussion last meeting was around, talking with our Quarry Valley admins, that as we saw students who are graduating, we saw there's some concerns around the conversion scale. Currently, we have, for a student to be considered as proficient, they would receive a 3. As we convert that 3 to to the conversion scale, the grade scale, it's equating to a 3.0. And so what we saw is the fact that we had a large number of students who were graduating with a B average, which we knew was really not the case. And so what we looked at were area schools. We had some discussions about what we felt would be more appropriate. And the recommendation last week or last month was to move proficiency down to a 1.5. And so therefore, students, be proficient would have that 1.5. And then as students worked harder in class, where else that they received like a 2 or 2.5 or a 3, it would more accurately reflect the grades they received in that class. And so we wanted to shift that proficiency from a 3 to 1.5. It doesn't necessarily lower expectations or lower what we believe, what we think for the kids, but really all it's doing is just adjusting right now what is a 3 to what is to 1.5. Jay or Jen, do you have anything you want to add to here?
No, I mean, I think that we are just saying that there's a lot of work that goes into earning a credit in a high school, and sometimes if we say the only way you can get credit is at a 3, that kind of makes grades get inflated, or in life, when you have to pass a driving test, you don't always have to get the 100, sometimes you pass at the 70, right? And you still get your driver's license. And so we just want to make it more applicable to real life settings. And so if we can grant that credit at a 1.5 and up, that feels more real, and people are earning what they are actually going with.
Additional questions?
Just for high school. This is for high school, yes.
Yes. Okay. A motion would be in order to accept the superintendent's recommendation to change the proficiency-based grading scale and move it accordingly. And that will be incorporated then in handbooks coming out in the fall.
So moved.
Motion by Linda. Any additional conversation, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Approval of the minutes, the April 13, 2023 minutes. A motion will be in order to approve the minutes. Motion by Mike. Any discussion? I'm just going to say we need to add add a page that actually has the roll call vote on it. Since we had a roll call vote, we need to include that into the minutes.
And it says Catherine is Proctor instead of Pulteney.
Okay.
So we just need to change that.
Sure. Oh, PR instead of PY. Okay. Not a problem.
Good catch, because I didn't notice this.
All right, with those two, one addition and one correction. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Approval of the warrants. You receive your warrants via GRCSU email. All questions, inquiries should be directed to Lewis. A motion would be in order to approve the warrants.
So moved?
Motion by Linda. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Superintendent's report. Chris.
Thank you, Lisa. A lot of this information this month is informational for you. We are in the last week of the legislative session. The information you have there is from the last week in April. And when we meet in June, we'll have, obviously a better understanding in terms of what happened and what has passed and what the next steps will be. I'll have a report. I know Louis and I have already discussed, we were going to be talking with boards about pieces of legislation, what impacts it will have on our schools and our district, both financially and whether it be academically, socially, emotionally, staffing wise, whether it be school security. So we'll go through all that with you in June, at our June board meeting. So we'll kind of review that with you, different pieces of legislation and the impact. This time of year, it really is kind of getting to the graduation, end of the year trips. It's a very difficult time for, I think, everyone, because I think, particularly as the weather starts to get warmer, I think our students are very excited. I think our staff are even more excited for the summer break. And so it's challenging, but I think, and I think that when I say challenging, I want to talk about Cognia, because I think the Cognia, we've been messaging now for probably 3-4 months that we believe that there will be issues, that there will be problems, and there have been a large number of issues and problems with the Cognia, assessment. I do want to thank, Milt Gardner, Al Gregorich, Greg Connors, our tech guys, also our administrators, our staff members, our teachers, our paraprofessionals, students, parents. Everyone has been very patient, very understanding. It has been a trying couple of weeks, and I know Jay and Jen can talk a little bit more about that later, but people have been very understanding. We're very appreciative of that. Hopefully next year, when we won't have these same issues. We always thought that we were kind of like the beta. I think that's kind of what we felt the past couple of years, that as the state rolls something out and schools figure out how to best make it work. And like I said, I really thank all of our educators and everyone in the schools who's done a great job with this over the past couple of weeks. And we're still going to deal with this for the next 3-4 weeks, but hopefully things will continue to improve, continue to get better. Strategic plan, as I have said, June 6th at the GRCSU board meeting, there'll be a draft for the board to review. At that time, the draft will not be for public consumption. The reason why I say that is, the board has to approve it first. Once the board approves the draft, we'll then go through and clean it up and then get it ready to go out to the families and to our community members. But I want to publicly, once again, thank all the staff members, a few of our board members, parents, students who have been a part of this process. It's been a long process, but we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully that when the plan is approved, we'll start seeing the benefits of all of our hard work for this. PCBs. I just want to talk a little bit about PCBs. I know that there's been a lot of discussion in the newspapers and the press. I do not believe that there will be a pause in the PCB testing. I think we're going to continue moving forward with this. In the Quarry Valley, we've had 3 schools PCB tested: Polton Elementary, Proctor High School, and then West Rutland. And I said before, we received results for Polton Elementary. It was minimal impact, did not impact the students' day at all. Any of the classrooms, we have the mitigation remediation in place right now. Proctor High School received results, and we were given an all clear. There are no issues at Proctor High School, and we're waiting on the results for West Rutland. You do see in your packet, we do the schedule for Polton High School, which is this summer, July 2023 to September 30th. Proctor Elementary will be October to December, and I think that's about it. Yes, that's it for the 2 schools. Traditionally, the testing has been running a couple weeks late, but hopefully over the course of the summer, we can get things kind of back on track. But as we receive the results, we will send letters out to the communities. We'll keep them informed if there are any impacts to schools. Fingers crossed that we've been very fortunate with the past 2 of our 3 schools so far. But like I said, we'll keep the community informed. We'll keep the board informed if there are any sort of changes. Last thing that I have is that this is Teacher Appreciation Week, and I think it's nice that we have so many teachers online. Unfortunately, they came for a different reason, but I just wanted to publicly just say thank you to all our staff members. I know that sometimes when they see my email that go out, I think a lot of them just delete or move on. They think it could be a hollow gesture or a meaningless gesture, but I truly am grateful for every single one of our staff members in our buildings that the successes and the great things that are going on are all a result of the great people we have in our schools and working with our kids. I just want to thank each and every one of them. They don't get the credit they deserve, but I just want to say thank you to each and every one of them and publicly recognize them. And I'll end on that note.
All right. Questions for Chris? Hearing none, moving on to principal reports. We only have these 2 tonight. However, Paul, we do need a motion for a field trip at Pulteney Elementary, June 2nd. 6th grade will be going to Great Escape. So a motion would be in order to approve that field trip.
So moved.
Motion by Linda. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I guess we'll let these 2 speak since they came tonight. So,
I
Jen?
get to go first? Yes.
You do.
I'll
Yeah, well, she is my favorite.
Well, I just wanted to thank our teachers as well. Our doors don't open without them. We've had some amazing events that I consider to be above and beyond. We had a GRCSU art show, which was put on with a lot of Quarry Valley teachers. If you didn't have a chance to go down, it was collections of a bunch of works that were around the district, which was pretty amazing, and it was downtown, and it was actually like a gallery. And so they had out like cookies and drinks and everything, and my daughter got to go, and my son was there as well, just like, oh, is this really what an art gallery is like? So it was just a really cool event for people, so I feel like that should be recognized. And then last month I talked about another one of my teachers, Patty Ryan, who one of our students run the writing competition for Investway, and we did receive notification that we actually won first place for the actual stock market game in the entire state. So we had a team place there as well. So just another really great thing that one of our teachers is doing above and beyond, things that they don't necessarily always get recognized for. So I just wanted to recognize those 2 things.
All right, Jay?
Yep. So there's a lot in my report as well, so thank you again. We have been celebrating the staff all week. So thank you to all of our staff, and we had a wonderful luncheon put on by our parents yesterday, so that was great. And beyond what is in my report, we had a phenomenal kindergarten through 2nd grade concert last night. They did kind of a version of Click Clack Moo. I know it was not called that, but if you're familiar with the story, it had a barn farm theme, and there had to have been 400 or 500 people there last night for this kindergarten through 2nd grade concert, and it was more than it was theatrical along with singing, a combination of art and music, and it was great. And you may have seen in the Rutland Herald today, our National Honor Society baseball and softball teams went down to the carving studio to help prepare, and they had some substantial damage about 2 weeks ago, and we have a really good relationship with the carving studio, and it was only right that the students went down there. They were great. They provided some safety equipment for us. We brought our own stuff, and they spent quite a bit of time. In about an hour with 40 people, they were able to do an enormous amount of work. So credit to our students. They all saw it as kind of like a CrossFit type, as they were moving pretty good sized pieces of marble to little sized marble to logs. But that outreach and being part of the greater community is really what it was about more than anything else. But the marble carving studio was very appreciative for our efforts. So Just a lot going on this time of year, so any
Absolutely.
questions I can answer. I'm proud of the work that we're doing at West Rutland School and across the Quarry Valley, so.
Right, and Liz isn't here this evening because they're having a concert, a spring concert, and Jay has a senior event, and Kristen had another event, so they didn't just skip out on us, they actually had some. And we also want to thank all the parent organizations that have come and supported our teachers and done a little something for them every day, that there's something to be said for that relationship as well, that level of respect and gratitude from the community to the teachers. So I certainly hope the teachers feel that.
Lisa, I just want to, Jen brought up the art show. I just want to mention that it's still on display through May 28th, right? So
And there's something for Pulteney High School through the Arts and Chaffee, April 29th through May 25th, going on there from, I know, and I think there was something else too that I wrote down to go and see at Merchants Row.
That's what they're talking about.
Is that what they're talking about?
Yes, that is
Nice
that.
job.
Yeah, that's
Very
right.
nice,
Yep.
yeah.
And I'll put in a plug for this. We do have a Quarry Valley production coming up of Grease that involves all of our schools. I checked out one of their rehearsals on last Saturday, and it's really great to see all of our students from each one of our schools involved in that and all just getting along, laughing together. And that is on, I believe, June 3rd is the production, or June 2nd. But,
Okay, June 3rd or June
check my
2nd?
calendar. It's the Saturday. I believe it's,
That would be the third.
is that the 3rd? Thank you.
Okay, so it's Saturday, and what time?
We have two. There's one at 2 o'clock and then there's one at 7.
Okay. Greece, at Proctor
It's at Proctor High School.
High School. Thank you so much. Okay.
And just another community piece, I think when you read through all the principals' reports, it was really nice to see all the students that were out and participating in the communities for Green Up Day. And that took teachers also in different buildings to organize and coordinate that. So that's a nice piece for our students to give back to the community and be out there and be seen. So we certainly appreciate that as well. All right, moving on to finance. Lewis has put financials in the packet. Lewis is not here this evening, so questions could be emailed to him. Personnel, contract recommendations. For professional staff, FY24 new hires and horizontal moves. We have Brenda Fort, West Rutland teacher, horizontal move from 53,860 to 56,14. Excuse me. Christina Kerber, Pulteney High School teacher, horizontal move from 63,770 to 65,925. Kaylee West Rutland teacher, 43,088. Abigail Racine, Pulteney Elementary teacher, 43,088. Kelly McGee, Proctor Elementary, Proctor High School library media teacher, 80,144. A motion would be in order to approve the contract recommendations for professional staff.
So moved.
Motion by Linda. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Extracurricular FY23, Brandon Bailey, West Rutland Summer School teacher, $40 an hour. Matthew Olnick, West Rutland Summer School teacher, $40 an hour. Jessica Audette, West Rutland Summer School teacher, $40 an hour. And Jeanette Abatel, West Rutland Summer School teacher, $40 an hour. A motion would be in order to approve the extracurricular FY23.
So moved.
Motion by Linda. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Extracurricular FY24, Courtney Elliott, Proctor Elementary Summer Tutor, $40 an hour. Alexis Stewart, Proctor Elementary Summer Tutor, $40 an hour. Sarah Palmer, Proctor Elementary Summer Tutor, $40 an hour. Sarah Godfrey, Pulteney Elementary Summer School Teacher, $40 an hour. Jenna Lloyd, Pulteney Elementary Summer School Teacher, $40 an hour. Maureen Cahill Brown, Pulteney Elementary Summer School Teacher, $40 an hour. Amy Lear, Proctor Elementary Summer Para, $20 an hour. Virginia Turso, Proctor Elementary Summer 1-to-1 Para, $25 an hour. Rachel Vandenberg, Proctor Elementary Summer Para, $25 an hour. Sydney Wood, Proctor Elementary Summer para 1-to-1, $17 an hour. Pam Knott, West Rutland Summer Program Teacher, $25 an hour. Madeline Morse, West Rutland Summer School Program Para, $20 an hour. Jamie Alifi, West Rutland Summer School Teacher, $40 an hour. Academics, $25 an hour. Enrichment. Kaylee's
Svitek.
West Rutland Summer Program Teacher, $40 an hour. Academics, $25 an hour. Enrichment. Kyrie
Simonetti.
West Rutland Summer Tutor, $40 an hour, and Karen Ames, West Rutland Summer Program Teacher, $40 an hour. A motion would be in order to approve the extracurricular FY24.
So moved.
I just have a quick question, just as a spelling question.
Yeah,
Is it Sally Godfrey? Is that who that is, or is it somebody new that her first name is Sarah? Okay. I was just curious. Okay.
okay?
Who made a motion?
Yep, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Resignations and RIFs. Resignations, Ashley Siemens, Polteny Elementary Regular Ed Para, effective end of FY23. Beverly Radiker, Proctor High School Receptionist, effective 6/16/2023. Marion Ackerman, Proctor High School Student Support Counselor, effective end of FY23. A motion would be in order to accept the resignations.
So moved.
Motion by Linda. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. RIFs. Arlen Bloodwood, Proctor High School Library Para, effective end of FY23. Megan Watkins, Polteny Elementary Regular Instruction Para, effective end of FY23. A motion would be in order to approve the RIFs.
So moved.
Motion by Linda. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Policies. For second read, we have F1, Student Conduct and Discipline. F5, Student Alcohol and Drugs. G5, Selection of Instructional Material. And H2, Community Use of School Facilities. A motion would be in order to approve second reads as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mike. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We've reached our second public comment. Are there any public present that would like to speak to an issue that was discussed during the meeting? All right, seeing none, we will move on. Future agenda items. Well, the next meeting is June,
Antoinette Stickney.
okay, wants to speak to an item that we discussed during this evening. All right,
Put her name in the chat.
all right, Antoinette.
Thank you. It's tough to me, but that's fine. Neither here nor there. I just was curious on a previous thing that Tiffany had said, if any board member or representative from the board had any comment in regards to Tiffany's comments or any of the letters that were sent in regards to Eric Matson.
The board accepts your letters and Tiffany's statement, and the board will not be responding individually. Thank you.
Okay, I just felt like it was something that you weren't sure on your decision that someone had defended. Thank you for your time.
Future meeting dates. The next meeting is June 8th. Future agenda items, we have from Kristen, the bleachers and the commingle of the ballot. Perhaps we're waiting, we're not going to add that to an agenda until we have a response back from Chris Leopold. Is there anything else the board would like to add to the June agenda?
Can we add, basketball's in full swing, can we add like what we're charging for gym rates and stuff like that for people to rent all the gyms?
Sure. So you want to see the schedule?
Well, what are we, somebody comes and rents, all weekend, what are we charging these people? Because AAU's in full swing right
I think it says
now.
on the building use form that it's $200 a day plus an hourly rate of whatever maintenance staff that you need. So depending on how many, like, if that's required, then that's what is being charged. That's what it says on the building use form.
Okay.
So we can put a building use form in your packet for next meeting.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be
Okay.
great. Thanks.
Jessica?
Yeah, I also would like to know, when AAU is played in the gyms, the admission fees, if the school gets any kickback from that or not.
No, we don't.
Okay, is that a standard thing that happens, or?
Well, they're running the program, they're paying us to be there, so it's their program, so if they're charging, they're receiving that,
Whatever they're charging.
yeah. That's why they're
Okay.
paying us to be
Oh.
there, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. We do need an executive session for contracts. So a motion would be in order to move into executive session at 7 o'clock. Is that too late? 6:55?
Make the motion.
6:55 for contracts. Motion by Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.